chaos over in the World Cup as France had to wait patiently to take all 3 points from Iraq. How did they do it? Well, I'll tell you next. That's my first back once again with another video today. We take a look back at the Group I encounter between France, one of the favourites, of course, and Iraq, one of the fighters, of course. We'll call them the fighters, as they try to get something out of this one. But, of course, the rain caused all kinds of chaos in this match. But what went on, well, we'll tell you in just 1 second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want to show Football and Rovers World Cup reviews. That's right, we're reviewing this Group I encounter. But before that, big shout out to my members and my patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash the subscribe. Can we get 48 likes on this video? A like for each and every one of the nations at this World Cup. That would be absolutely fantastic. But let's get into the deep end then, shall we? Take a look at France up against Iraq, of course. It was the Mbappe show once again. A brace from the French talisman up top. Makes his goal count up to 4 right now. 2 games, 4 goals. And Ousmane Dembélé chipping in with a 3rd as well. 3-0, job done. Into the round 32. And, of course, Iraq staring down the exit door. It looks like, well, we'll try to clarify that all in just a second. Quick look at the stats there. 19 shots for the French, just 4 for Iraq, who offered offered very little in regards to their attacking endeavour. They were much more of a threat against Norway, despite conceding more goals. But the French, with the rain delay, which of course caused the problems, I think at half-time, the game was basically stopped for about 2 hours, I think. Unwanted distraction for the players involved, which might have taken the sting out of the French a little bit. Maybe the French would have added more to the goals if it was free-flowing as normal, and of course, but the delay just kind of caused some problems and all that, and we didn't get the full throttle of the French, which is just, again, 3-0 is a good scoreline. Of course, a couple of goals for Mbappe, get his momentum moving. And, of course, bubbling at just the right time for the grand prize, which, of course, is the shootout between Norway for top spot. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But, of course, as you see, one-way traffic in regards to the shots and the goals. But it was pretty even in possession. Iraq did give themselves a bit of a fight and tried to make some attacking. It's just that final third. It just couldn't cause as many problems as they'd hoped. But nice flowing passing football from Iraq from one end to the other. It just couldn't get into the game when it mattered the most. So 3-0 in the end. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. But this is, of course, the players that were involved at the Lincoln Financial Field, with 68,000 in attendance over in Group I. Mike Megan between the sticks. Deo Upamecano, William Saliba, Lucas Digne, Jules Kunde, Adrien Robert. We had Manu Kone, we had Ousmane Dembélé, Brady Bacola, Nicolas Olise, and we also had Kylian Mbappé in that team as well. As for Iraq, we had Amin Bashir Fadhil, Akim Hashim, Shadid Tashin, we had Mekas Doski, Hussein Ali, Amir Al-Talmari, Ahmed Kwazim, Ibrahim Bayesh, Sid Ismail, Zidane Iqbal, and Aymin Hussein, who was injured. Captain's armband, of course, was pulled off midway through the first half, and of course was replaced by Ali Ahmadi, of course on the books of Luton Town / Ipswich Town. I think he's on the books right now. Marco Farij, of course, was also brought on. Yusuf Amin, Amishia, and Rebin Sulaka. But the French also rotated a little bit with Malo Gusto coming on there, Ryan Shekri, Magas Alukuchi, Desri Doué, and Marcus Thuram. But ultimately, it was just too much firepower, too much attackingness. And again, maybe this is going to work out as a sting in the tail for the French. They're going to try to cruise through. Well, I won't say cruise through this group. The Senegalese gave them a bit of a game. This was a bit of an easy one for them, and Norway will give them a challenge. I was going to say it might have been a bit of a cruise for the French, but maybe they've been tested a little bit. But I would like to see the French at full throttle, like against Brazil or Spain or Germany or England, to see just how good these guys can be. Because I think we're only getting like first gear French right now. I don't think they've really turned it on at the moment. But these were the performances for you for this game, with a 7.28 for that of France on average, 9.2 for Mbappe, 8 for Olise, 8.7 for Dembélé, and Upamecano at the back with 8.1. As for Iraq, 6.48 for them, with who got the Iqbal with a 6.9, 7.1 for Ali Hashem there at the back. But ultimately, as you can see, the game was pretty much one-way traffic, sea of green, but some flirting moments there for Iraq. But again, no goals, no real serious efforts. I think this pocket of blue here was the main threat for Iraq towards the back end of the game when they were 3-0 down, which shows a bit of fight, which a bit of determination. But ultimately, they're in a bit of a pickle, aren't they, Iraq, in Group I. the bottom of the pile, level with Senegal. It is a straight shootout for third place right here, right now. They do need a win, of course, and they need to. Whoever wins that game, they'll need to win big. Especially Iraq with a -6 goal difference. So for France, though, they top the charts right now, courtesy of that Senegalese late second goal, which kind of knocked Norway back down a peg. So now a draw in that game between France and Norway will see France top that group with both matches taking place on the 26th of June. That's the cause of that. What about what's went on online? Well, let's go look at it. The computer, the bot, Needle says France march on. They were short of their fluid best, but a team that brings Chucky and Doué on a second half subs when 3-0 up was always going to have too much for hard-working Iraq. Mbappe continues to score goals and stay in front, stay in the hunt for the golden boot. Bring on Norway. The Blade report says nice play from Iraq. I see them trying to play out from the back. And Nindwang said Mbappe and France are the dream team we always use in games. They are simply incredible with quality squad depth. Nasir Ahmed Maher, this is exactly how serious contenders manage the group stage. Win, qualify, then control the next test. Meanwhile, Chris said, what a game. I thought they would come back a bit sluggish, but they stayed on form. I knew it would be good looking at the warm-ups. France looked in control and already. Iraq looked like an amateur five-a-side team. And Ola Sang said, job done. France looking strong heading into the round of 32. Meanwhile, what's going on with you guys? Well, you went with France, 86% of you, of course. Iraq with 12%. The draw was at just the 1. As for the ping pong balls, they went with the French as well, which of course that means they know something. And also the cat, she knows something. And more right than wrong this summer, so great stuff for he. As for me, let's go to the board and find out. All right, then first let's take a look at what I went for this game. I actually went with a 4-0 win for the French against Iraq, so close to the money on that one. All we need to do now is update the scoreboard for this scoreline. 3-2 victory for the Norway, of course, over in Group I. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. France into the round of 32. Iraq staring on the brink of elimination. But we're still one game left, of course. What will happen in those games? Make sure you stick around on the channel. We have previews, reviews, predictions, and all that kind of good stuff right here throughout the remainder of the World Cup. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. I'll catch you later whenever we return. But until then, we are done.